Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to this reading. Wow, so this is a new one. I am a bit stunned. I just prepared my decks, and I've got this tarot deck. By the way, shout out, I love this one. This is one of my favorite decks ever. Transient Light Tarot by Ari Weisner. I got it on Etsy, so if you like it, you'll find it there. I think it's a British artist. Yeah, I think it's from Britain. English. And yeah, so these three cards are coming with the deck, and I've never used them before. I'm not usually like the type of reader who does like past, present, future readings. I'm usually tapping into more of like the psychological aspect of things, emotions, just the state we're in, like perceiving blocks. But that one just came out. So, and the thing is, I'm not reading this as that this is a past, present, future, kind of like a typical kind of reading. But this is speaking to me about something else. The reason, like, there's something about like the thing that I just, like the introduction I just gave and my saying, well, this is usually not what I'm doing, is speaking to me about exactly that. Like, there is a person who experiences something where they say like, well, this is actually not what I do, or this is not what is usually my thing. Maybe they even have like some kind of resistance against it, but this is a way of saying, well, kind of is your thing, you just go about it in a different way. I do have some feelings about what this is, but I first want to confirm it and dive a little deeper. So, which deck to use? Okay, so this is, I have a bit of a limited range of decks right now because I'm traveling and I only brought 3 decks with me. But okay, so yeah, there's something about a limited scale of tools, maybe, or you think you have a limited palette of tools you can use. But there is a message in here and about, well, you actually have more resources than you give yourself credit for. You know, the thing is, as a reader, like, tarot decks, they're only tools, right? They're only tools. And actually, I can read anything. I really can read anything. The environment is speaking to me all the time. If you've watched any of my readings, you know that I always take into account what is happening around me, how the environment is reacting to the energy, what I feel, what I pick up on. Sometimes I draw, sometimes I paint, and I use that as like for reading. So yeah, I can really read anything. Like the tarot decks, they're just a tool. So there's a message in here about like, don't limit yourself with thoughts about, well, I can only do this, like just one thing, or I need more resources, because like what I get right now is like, you have all the resources you need, you just have to make use of them. All right, let's learn a little more about what this is about. Okay, so there's something about trusting your intuition, and the fact that I said I want to confirm what I already got is speaking to me about that. So, okay, I'm just going to say it straight away. To me, it feels like this is about someone who is discovering more of their psychic abilities. I do say that because of this card that came out. It was also with the deck. And I was immediately drawn here to this third eye energy. So there's some kind of awakening, and I hear like reawakening of psychic abilities. Something you thought was dead with the skull here. Something you might even be like scared to reawaken. And like, yeah, there's something about like you actually like you've done this before, maybe in another lifetime, but it does feel like maybe as a kid, or I don't know, maybe in younger years. But for some reason you stopped and you told yourself that this is not what you want to do or what you're supposed to do. Maybe like there's even some social or like religious cultural overlay of like that's a bad thing to do, that's a wrong thing to do, you shouldn't do that. Actually, it was kind of funny because before I came out here and like started the reading, I had a thought about because I'm in Italy right now, and I'm sitting here on this beautiful terrace and doing the reading, and I thought about, well, what if someone looks out the window from one of the apartment, like there's one apartment above me. What if they look out the window and they see me doing like card readings? And because like it's quite Catholic here, like they may see this as evil, and that's just like a very, very weird thought. It's not the way I usually think, and I don't really care. You know, even if somebody thought I was evil out of religious reasons, I don't really care. So yeah, this is like there might be some thoughts about that, or like residuals that you still have, some fears of what people might think, how others may perceive what you're doing, what you're capable of doing, what your gifts are, really, because that's what they are gifts. Also with this timeline thing that I got here, it seems to me like either you have a gift to work with timelines, a gift to bend time. You see this, like it's like this bending of time. Maybe you do have certain skills of like making time work in your favor, move in a way that you can, I hear, slow down time. Wow, that's amazing. That's really exciting. Or maybe you're just like, not just like, maybe you are like a seer. Maybe you can predict future outcomes or like see certain timelines, possibilities, future possibilities. Or also someone can work with like the past, like you can travel back in time and change things. So there's something about time and like working with time. Time traveler. I even like get something about palm reading. So okay, yeah, like it's circus tricks. This I don't believe. Maybe it's something that we. The wind is picking up, trying to blow over my cards. Seems like there's some kind of belief of like, yeah, again, like this is evil, or maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe that's just, hocus pocus. It's just something naive people believe in, like it's all a scam, like the typical, circus palm reader kind of thing. And like, but the kind of work you're doing, that's just of a different quality. Like you don't try to scam people, like you're doing, like the work you do is kind of different. And right now I'm drawn to those planets over here. So there is something about, when I talk about those concepts, it doesn't mean, I'm just like putting something on here so that the wind cannot blow everything over. So I get something about like a soul that is coming from someplace else. And when I say that, like some people would probably call it like a starseed origin. I'm not really a big fan of using those terms. I'm using them sometimes just to, give you an idea of what I'm talking about. But I also want to emphasize that I'm not speaking about this how it's like generally understood. I don't really give much so this is not about, like those new agey identity creating, oh, I'm from this planet and this is like my origin, and I completely like define myself about this. This is just someone who knows I come from someplace else, and that's why I operate in a different way than most people. And this is also where those skills come from, like this ability to work with time in a very, very unique way. And that's like those trees here, they also speak to me about like some kind of ancient wisdom, like rooted in some kind of really, like, I can't even really say old tradition because it's nothing that is present in the cultures we know of, but like it goes way back. It's like older, so much older, something that was long lost and forgotten. Okay, so I want you to, I'm asked to for you to note right now that I haven't even drawn like a single card yet. Speaking of using tools, I just used what's already here, like those 3 cards, and that's enough to like read into all of this. And of course, like I'm using my own gifts. Like I do have gifts that that go beyond card reading, I'm just making use of my gifts here. And they come from inside, they come from like there internally. And it's just like a matter of learning how to use those skills and to trust in them. The cards really are just like a tool. So, yeah, well, now that we've established who this reading is for, like what your thing is, what are, like, why is this coming through now? What is it that you need to hear right now about that? Drawing to this, like there's something about DNA, and it's like on the past card. So I'm getting something on ancestry, I'm getting something on digging up things. Like, okay, so there is a need, like you're being guided towards digging up parts of your family history, like where you've come from, really like diving into your past, like your ancestry. And this is needed in order to heal this, like this DNA. It is like those abilities that you have, whatever they are, like you come from a highly magical family. Like all of your ancestry actually had those kind of gifts. It's just, yeah, I'm seeing this this hand here. Again, like this is bringing me back to this palm reading thing. Maybe you even had like a form of ancestry that like kind of did that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And there's some trauma around that. And this is not an unusual thing, you know, like actually, like all of us who do have those kind of skills, like we have to work through a lot of our own trauma and ancestral trauma to actually like really bring them to life and to release all the bullshit that is put up, that has piled up on it. And yeah, so there's like a lot of like, I hear like something about being an outcast. Maybe like some of your ancestors experienced that. I do keep getting something about, you know, like travelers, like this circus thing again. Maybe something like with Sinti and Roma roots. It just keeps coming up. It's very strong, actually. Yeah, I see pictures, like I see images of someone being like even like cast out of a city or like a town, a village, and called a gypsy. Sorry for using that word, but it comes out very, very strongly. This feels very specific, but like even if it's not, like if this is not your story, thanks for holding space for whose story that is. But nonetheless, it can be translated in your own way, like in your own story, your own biography, and like your ancestors' history. Like the story itself with like the being the outcast, sometimes even chased out of a place because of that. I do see people moving around a lot because we were different. Yeah, I keep being drawn to this eye here. It's, yeah, again, like this emphasis of like maybe even being a seer, but you don't have to be like the classical seer who like sees into the future, although you can be. But it's just about like seeing things that others can't, and this can mean anything. Seeing through things that scares other people, and this is why you've been persecuted for it. And you know, like in a modern sense, this doesn't mean that people came after you with forks and tortures and stuff. Um, this can mean that you've just been like always the odd one out, or people just like reflected back at you that whatever you were doing, that was not welcome, or that was not normal, that was like, stop doing that. And that was like reinforced upon you that you're not supposed to be doing that. So you put it into a box and stored it away. But those flowers here, like they need sun to grow, so they need the light to grow, but the seeds are still here. Like they're still in this box, and the moment you open that box, those flowers will start to grow again. Okay, here the box has already been opened. You've already opened it. Yeah, it's already in process, it's already moving. So I do feel like this is actually just very much confirmation for someone that this is happening. Is there like any form of advice that we can give here? Okay, so yeah, that's just, it's bringing me back to like work with your ancestry, work with your past, like your family history. Just learning about it. Okay, so this is just about, it's a question of being seen, like even your ancestry, like they've not been seen and acknowledged for who they were. And it feels like that even like within your family line, that just got shoved down, deep down, like put in a box and stored away. So you might have to do some digging. Again, like you have to dig it up. But simply the process of doing that, simply your willingness to do that already heals something in your family line. And you, as someone who's working with past and future timelines, like you know that doing that, going back and looking at, like giving your ancestors the gift of looking at their story heals them, and it will spread out through your whole family line, past and present and future. Yeah, I see this like this river here, and it's moving through all the different time spaces. And we tend to think about time in a linear fashion, right? But that's actually not true. Time is happening, everything is happening all at once. So if you quote unquote go back in time and heal something there, it will spread out into all the other time spaces that exist at the same, because everything exists at the same time. So yes, you are a time traveler. Is there anything else? No, that's it. What a beautiful reading. I'm amazed. This is a great energy. It's a great thing that's happening here. Yeah. I'm It's weird right now. I'm having a bit of a, not problem closing out this reading, but I just want to stay in this energy. I don't know. It feels actually really nice. It's very peaceful. Okay, yeah, so that's like the last bit of information. Like if you do that, if you come into that true nature of yours and that of your family, you will come into peace. You will find peace for you and your ancestry and your family, present and future and past. So yeah, that's all I've got. Beautiful. I wish you all the best with that. So much love. Yeah, that's amazing work you're doing, and it's very exciting. And yeah, I wish you all the best with that. Good luck. And if that reading was helpful, if you liked it, I would love to hear from you. Maybe give it a thumbs up or even leave a subscription. Helps my channel grow. It's still very, very small. And I would love to see you in one of my next readings. Until then, love you and take care. Bye.